even no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun the command of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico. Oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining me from. It is Mayegun Live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining me again after that long reading day that we had earlier. I believe I have recovered a bit for the main thing tonight. Read the caption of this broadcast, the description as well, and then share it, like it, because I have come with a bag of goodies as well tonight. It is Betta Gate again, or Edugate, or you can even say Betta Edugate. It doesn't matter. It is the same scandal. The scandal that first rocked Tifnumbu's government started with that of the humanitarian minister. Like when Nigerian politicians says they want to lift Nigerians out of poverty, I have come to realize that they were actually talking about lifting themselves out of poverty, not you. Share the broadcast. Well, again, for the opting time, the northern leaders, whenever they had the chance, they have not missed the chance of reminding all of us that they regretted and still regretting their Muslim ticket, Mumu ticket. So today, now good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching me from. It is Mayegun Live. I hope you can hear me loud and clear, by the way. The moment you can no longer hear me loud and clear, please signify in the comment section, and when I see it, I will fix that. Hopefully it is perfect for us tonight. So going forward, we are starting with the Betta Gate, Abi Edu Gate, and this is this lady, Betta Edu, the supposed one of the 48 thieves of Tifnumbu. Betta Edu was the woman the woman leader for APC, Egbekegbe, a young lady who happened to also be, or formerly rather, Commissioner for Health, Cross River States. So she's been in the political sort of a system, somehow that you can tell possible thing she learned in a career is the immorality, the self-moral degeneration, which these characters actually represent. So a woman minister who was appointed to care for supposedly women too. I'm talking about the vulnerable, the most vulnerable, the poorest of the poor. Supposedly in Nigeria, they were supposed to be asked to care for. The resources given to her were supposed to be used for them. But again, when politicians say they are lifting people out of poverty, pay attention very well. They are lifting themselves out of poverty. And you can tell they have been those only that this actually worked for. So Betta Edu was appointed minister after helping Tifnumbu and Shitty Man to patch and pack all of their incompetence at the time, where she's rewarded. And she became a minister. The minister of humanitarian, poverty, alleviation, disaster, whatever management. Anyway, when Betta Edu became minister, our first assignment was to begin to put together our own SPVs, special purpose vehicles. In Nigeria, this is a fancy name given to the proxies or front, they call them front too, okay? In Nigeria, so that you understand what I'm saying here, okay, let me explain that to you. In Nigeria, the Nigerian politicians, they are those who award contracts. They themselves are the contractors. They are also the ones who also sort of carried out oversight function on those supposed projects. So at the end of the day, the entire establishment filled with all these corrupt politicians, it is all about rub my back, I rub your back kind of a thing. Okay? So Betta Edu, when Betta came in, when Tifnumbu came in, Boko Haram's people were everywhere, including the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. And the story behind the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs in Nigeria was another creation of the political class, just a means of compensation for themselves. For example, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs in Nigeria was created by Boko Haram, not to alleviate poverty, not to help you, the poor. It was to compensate Shadia. And from record, they said when Boko Haram was in Kaduna as a military officer at the time, they said Shadia played one kind of a significant role, that she was a cook for Boko Haram and some of his colleagues at the time, and she got compensated as a minister when Boko Haram, but they actually said she's Boko Haram's girlfriend when Boko Haram was still man enough before he became a vegetable. So it wasn't meant to really care or cater for the poor people in Nigeria. It was just a compensation for her. And she really milked it. At a point, Boko Haram was giving that same ministry over 500 billion naira to be shared to the poorest of the poor in Nigeria. And indeed, Shadia was sharing money. It's just that all the money Shadia shared, they had no account of who collected what and when and how much. So when Betta entered, Betta Edu decided to put together our own SPV boys, SPV, special purpose vehicles. Special purpose vehicles are fake companies that are going to be collecting government contracts from that ministry. Most of the time, they can easily just quickly go and register some of the companies so that that will allow it to pass through, the financial check and whatever background check. So they will say, okay, you are registered. they do not pay taxes. They are in their hundreds of thousands, fake companies like that, created by politicians, okay, to swindle or to draw money from the public purse for projects that are never going to see any light of the day. So Betta did the same thing. What did Betta do? Betta Edu, first, being somebody who is new at that pedestal, federal level, huge money. This is not states now, federal. You will need to first, wet the floor. Wet the ground rather, so that you can walk on a sort of a wet ground. Wet the ground and walk on a wet ground. Wetting the ground simply means before you begin to keep some things for yourself, you need to take care of those who facilitated and made it possible for you to become a minister in the first place. And that was where Gbajabi Amole came in. Now, Gbajabi Amole, being the ones who is writing and cleaning their names, is the chief of staff to Tifnumbu. It is Gbajabi Amole's final handwriting, right, that will determine if you are going to get appointed or not on that Tifnumbu. So because of this, that makes Gbajabi Amole a very powerful person. He is your de facto president in Nigeria. The only time you're probably going to have a problem is when Remi becomes uncomfortable. But so far, so good. They seems to all be fine. So when Betta became president, became the minister, so they started the racketeering, their own racketeering. No effort in trying to probe all of the thieving and stealing done by Shadia, by the way. But Betta was pretty much like, hit the ground running. The first wahala started when Betta Edu entered the ministry, okay? She started approving some money. Like, it became so ridiculous, right? The supposed permanent secretary or so of the ministry, the lady she's a lady, who happened to be the last person to really, in fact, she was supposed to be the one to raise memo, okay, and take it to the minister. So when the minister signs it, he will then do all of the civil service stuff by ensuring that the memo ends in the right place and the money is paid. Now, whenever, the way they build the ministry, right? This lady, okay, she's not minister, she's there in the ministry as one of those, So what happened that she has to sign before any money could be released from the ministry's account. Not the minister. She has to sign. Her signature has to feature. So when Betta came, the mood of, okay, they are the new guys in, they are like, the new minister. So she seemed to cooperate with Betta Edu. Incessant greed for money, ridiculous memos. She will call her. I need you to raise a memo of 150 million for so and so. I need to raise this and pay the money to so account. So she was paying the money. At a point, she was like, the way this one they go, this money go finish before December. And all the people she's approving the money for, they have absolutely nothing to do with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. So what did she do? She used that power and she moved Nigeria is not a real place, right? So this secretary, she didn't follow any due process or anything as well. She said she was acting in saving the ministry money from Betta Edu. So she moved all the ministry money, about 38 billion naira. In fact, it was actually about 40 billion. So she moved the whole money to our own private account. She did. So Betta Edu had no access to money anymore. So what did Betta do? Betta now wrote a scratching sort of a letter or so, or a memo, that lady must be removed. And you know that she's been there with Shadia all this while. Now them buy the furniture for the office, because now them open the ministry. They are the first set of the people. To them, it's pretty much like their inheritance, kind of. Bokwari rewarded them with it. So now that Bokwari is not in charge, Tifnumbu is in charge. This person that is coming in, the way he's doing, she's doing as if to say, we can't let that happen. This is our ministry, kind of feeling, you know. So the battle between Betta and this lady started. But she's a minister. She could take the case to the higher level and get her arrested. And that's exactly what she did. So she quickly raised the memo and said, when she became a minister, all the money in the ministry, almost 40 billion, they said the money that Betta Edu met in that ministry when she came, as as wasteful, as corrupt as Shadia was, they still left about 70 billion in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. So I swear, 70 billion. That they said within a space of 3 weeks, Betta Edu don't loot over 20 billion. Like they have approved over 20 billion. And there were others that she was asking for too. That was what made the lady to say, in order to protect the money, that's why I moved it to my private account. About things they happen or things they occur. 2 women. So why Betta Edu was doing all of that? We did not know that there are some memo raised that did not go through the FEC, okay? In Nigeria, okay, they believe that if you are a minister, any contract or any project that is above 100 million naira, you have to take it to the FEC for approval. But Betta Edu was not taking the whole memo to the FEC for approval. She was taking them to Bajabia Mole. And Bajabia Mole will minute on it and take it to Tifnumbu. Tifnumbu will minute on it and say they should go and pay. Because the money was coming back to Bajabia Mole. Yeah, Betta Edu, the first week she became minister, she approved. Yeah, she approved and got the money paid out. She approved over 7 billion naira to consultants. These consultants were to go and look at the register of the poorest people in Nigeria. Supposed register put together by Shadia, the former minister. The register they were using to pay poor people. They now discovered that there was no register. According to them, there was actually no register. Shadia was like Alajo Shomolu, the thrift collector. Alajo Shomolu happened to be a thrift collector, okay, who never wrote down the thrift or what have you that he was collecting from his customers. He has no account, he has no document, he has no nothing. He takes everything and he puts them offhand. And all his customers, when it's time for Alajo Shomolu to pay his customers their money at the end of the month, he never mixes them together. Everyone gets exactly what they put in. Okay? Everyone. And that's why they always believe that Alajo Shomolu, the thrift collector, is the most the brainiest human ever. I don't know Alajo Shomolu. I think it's a fiction. Okay? But a lot of people believe, well, my parent told me it was real because they grew up in Shomolu. I still don't think that's real. So that is exactly what Shadia was. Alajo Shokoto. Shadia was like Alajo Shokoto when they give money. She shared 500 billion naira in 2 days to 11.5 million household, comprising of at least 70 million Nigerians in 2 days. In no use bank, in no use account, in no use anything. And there's no record. But she paid the money. So Shadia has Alajo Shokoto that should be in jail right now. She is not. So Betta Edu wanted to put structure. They needed structure. The structure of renewed hope. So for this structure of renewed hope to work, the poor people who have been told that subsidy was gone and backing with the hardest and the harshest kind of economic reality today, while they were waiting for their 5,000, 8,000, I've been at 10,000. Betta Edu, she had paid about 7 billion naira to consultant. Guess who were the consultants? The consultants to help scientifically discover the poorest Nigerians and how to help them. So they gave them 7 billion. Jabia Mole and his own company collected about 3 billion. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Ojo, Minister of Passport, Olubunmi Ojo's company collected over 400 and what do you call it? Collected 460 something million naira in the name of trying to help you look for the poorest Nigerians. So last, everybody just collected the money and they just screamed their mouth like that until Betta Edu misfired. How? There was no issue, nothing. Everything was fine. The lady that was trying to give her the problem, they kind of, I don't know, maybe suspended or sacked, or I don't know. She was even invited by EFCC to say she stole 40-something billion. She got to EFCC and she told them, I did not steal it. I tried to save the money from the minister. In fact, let me tell you something. I have some memo I can show you. You have no idea how greedy and how crooked this lady is. We have never seen anybody this desperate for money. Like money. It was pretty much like somebody coming to the office and say, congratulations for your new appointment. Say, leave, congratulations, come here. Where is the money for this ministry? Where is what? I need the bank account of this. I need the account balance of this ministry. Say, Minister, you are not even going to have a conversation with all of us. At least, familiarize yourself with your staff. People who are going to work with. Hey, give me the bank balance, please. How much is there? Everything is about 60 billion. Okay. Now, I don't want anybody to take money from that account until I tell you next. And then you started taking. And the lady was like, oh, Shadi, I go mad to you. Just, So they decided to release some of the memos of Betta Edu's desperation. Betta Edu, they sent text message to somebody who works in the ministry that don't dare me, don't try me. I told you to give to sign that so and so. Don't dare me, because I can get you sacked. She was so like that, oh Baba. I mean, like she was so like that. Don't dare me. Don't try this nonsense with me. All for money. Oh. So they just released all our memo out. I say, oh yeah, we're any better. Oh, we're giddy. She believes that now that she's with the big boys, she can do like the big girl. I mean, a lot of these guys have collected billions. Okay, so now who do you want to report me to? The president. Oh yeah, go and report. I'll just call Uncle Femi. Uncle Femi. Somebody just told me that he's coming to report me to the president. Madam, alone jare omo Betta. Iwo Betta nti e jare. Omo Betta. Betta. Don't mind them. Let them say. Just let them say. So I think this overconfidence was what really pushed Betta so much that she didn't know that they will probably not speak for her. Because you know something? Betta Edu wanted another 4-something billion naira. Now, the account of the ministry, the person who was supposed to be able to help her, she is no longer in charge in that sense. And she can't sign it. She was so desperate, right? That she did what has never been done before. She raised a memo of over 4 billion naira and sent it straight to the Accountant General's office to pay some certain people their bank account, to pay ministry to pay the supposed money they said they want to give to poor people, pay it into private account of people. Some of them, right? For example, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Ojo, his own company that got over 600 million naira from this money. Their job was to go to Ekiti. Is Olubunmi Ojo from Ekiti, by the way? Is it from Ekiti State? No, it's not. Anyway, Olubunmi Ojo's another lady who was said to be from Lagos. She was also given about 600. She was to be paid about 800 million naira. The money was for her to go and discover